And now, let's bring out our special guest.
Blood sacrifice for fame. A lot of you won't get this, but those of you who are up on entertainment already know the truth. Let's talk about Prince starting off. In 98 and 99, Prince would end all his tours with letting the world know what's coming ahead, but no one knew what he was talking about. Check it out.
We got one more, and we're gonna get out. I gotta go home, y'all. I gotta go back to America. I gotta go get ready for the bomb. Osama bin Laden getting ready to bomb. Osama bin Laden getting ready to bomb. Osama bin Laden getting ready to bomb.
Now you tell me, how do Prince know about the bombs 2 to 3 years ahead of time, when Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden weren't even talked about until the bombs and the towers actually went down? That lets you know the elite lets these guys know what's up ahead of time. Once you hit that $50 million marker, you become very special to the elite, and it lets you know what they know. And by Prince being an artist, they like for you to sing about it. They also, if you're a big-time movie director, they like for you to put it in your movies. They tell us every day, but most Americans are brain dead. But yes, Prince is an Edomite, and I'm going to explain it very carefully. Even though Prince had black people in his family, don't get it twisted. They were not all black, okay? As seen here. Here's the man that brought Prince in the world, John Nelson. Well, most folks didn't know that John was 50% Italian, 50% black. And what that means, half and half. John's father, who is Prince's grandfather, was 100% Italian, and his lineage does not go back to the Moors. So that makes Prince an Edomite. Here's Prince's mother, Mattie Shaw. She was also 90% Italian, 15% black. Prince came from an Italian family, much like Lenny Kravitz. Prince's father is not an Israelite. Prince's father was a blood sacrifice. And Prince is a straight up flaming faggot, and on top of it, he's an Edomite. Prince's father dies. The sacrifice is fulfilled. Let's turn the tables. Let's talk about Aaliyah. A lot of folks want to believe that Aaliyah was our angel. I'm sorry to inform you, she wasn't. The truth on why Aaliyah died, her death was planned out by someone who loved her and needed her for his own blood sacrifice. Now, Aaliyah was not as innocent as people play upon. There's a lot of things that Aaliyah was involved in. She was involved with 2 different men. I'll explain later. Meanwhile, Damien Dash was the guy she fell in love with. And while Damien Dash had Aaliyah falling in love with him, or as he said, he fell in love with her as well, Damien Dash was involved with another woman. We will show you that woman as the film is rolling. Damon Dash didn't have love for Aaliyah. Damon Dash really didn't give two squats about Aaliyah. But what he did need her for is for his own journey. See, Damon Dash took the oath, just like his partner Jay-Z. And they all know about the sacrificing to become famous and wealthy. Well, let's just turn back the tables. Because before Dash, Jay-Z was popping this. Oh yeah, don't get it twisted. Jay-Z and Aaliyah had a thing going on. That is not a lie if you've seen it in the past. Jay-Z would meet Aaliyah at the club or sometimes bring her to the club. The thing is, Damon used to see Jay-Z with her. But Jay-Z really didn't have an interest. He kind of liked her, but he didn't. Dash really wanted her for other reasons, as seen here. Aaliyah was kind of giving out, I hate to say it this way, but Aaliyah was kind of giving out like a joint. She was what they call a jump around with these two particular guys. In Aaliyah's last film, she plays this demonic, vampire, evil witch. It's amazing that certain roles you take can depict how your life will play out. In the final role that Aaliyah played, she played this witch being turned into ash and to stone. But little did she know that playing a film would come out to be reality. Aaliyah playing Nosedive because it was way overweight. Everyone aboard pretty much died. But during that day, after the shoot, Rock the Boat, Damon was calling Aaliyah pretty often. He was begging her to get on that plane so he could see her, so he said. See, it was all in the plans. Aaliyah was the blood sacrifice so that Damon could reach his fortune and his fame. I'll explain it as the film rolls. During the funeral, the guys come out with one hand over another. That's to let the elite know that the sacrifice have taken place, and now they're at the finale. Rachel Roy is well aware of the sacrifices that goes on in Hollywood. She was with Damon at the time of the death of Aaliyah. See, he met her as an intern working for Rocawear, fell in love with her, even impregnated her in 1999, about the same time he met Aaliyah. She knew about Aaliyah. She also knew Aaliyah was going to be their sacrifice for fortune and fame. When Aaliyah passed, he got back with Rachel, but did not marry her till 2005. He didn't want people to be seen so suspicious. Meanwhile, Aaliyah's death hits everybody like a storm. But don't get it twisted. What you didn't know is that Aaliyah was down with the Baphomet. Now, she wasn't down with the sacrifices, especially if she knew she was going to be sacrificed. But Aaliyah would always throw up her Baphomet sign like all the rest of them, because she was a part of the brotherhood as well, on the female side. Don't get it twisted. The women sell out too. What did he get for sacrificing her? Rocawear. Pro Kids. State Property Films. The clothing line of CEO. But Damon saw Jay-Z moving faster, so he wanted to get rid of Rocawear. So he sold it to Jay-Z for $30 million. But Jay-Z was always up on game. Jay-Z said, thanks, brother. Took it to his partners and flipped it for $204 million. Talk about screwing you without Vaseline. Ouch. Damon seen Jay-Z moving in the fast lane, so Damon would have secret talks and try to work out a distribution deal behind the elite's back. Jay-Z went and told leaders of the Boule this would make Jay trustworthy and give much wealth for his snitching. Jay-Z was rewarded very well for his role in snitching on Damon Dash. He got the 40/40 Club, Rockaware, Def Jam Recordings, New York Knicks, Jay-Z Inc., and also lunch with Bill Gates. After DeBoule talked to Jay-Z, Damon Dash and his partners in crime would not be the same. A part of the deal that they was trying to do, J. Prince from Rap-A-Lot Records, Irv Gotti from Murder Inc., and last, Mr. Suge Knight. All these guys was trying to do a distribution deal behind the Elites' back. But what they didn't know is no black man's gonna run nothing in Hollywood as long as white folks control it. So they called the FBI, who's on payroll, to shake these guys down. And boy, didn't they shake them down. J. Prince was stricken. He was hit with all kind of fines. He was damn near going broke. But if he could produce a blood sacrifice that would give him some royalties back. And he did, with Pimp C. Pimp C did not die of an overdose cough syrup. He was held down and gave a lethal injection. Now Suge Knight's a little bit different, because in the mid-90s, Suge wanted wealth fast and quick. Who did they get him to sacrifice? Oh, come on, y'all should know that. Tupac Shakur. Irv Gotti thought the world was his until the FBI put bogus charges on him for indicting cocaine and other bogus charges, stripped him of all his riches. Def Jam spit him out. BET had nothing else to do with him. They pretty much took him for broke, stripped him of everything he ever worked for in his life. Damon Dash followed right behind. He could not pay his bills. Rachel Roy did not want to be a blood sacrifice, so this past April of 2009, she knew to divorce him, because who's ever close to Damien, whether it be his kids or her, he would use them for a sacrifice so that he can get his royalties back. What did Damon do? He went back to Jay-Z. So you know what that means. Dash is officially Jay-Z's bitch. Michael Jackson died on a drug overdose. Michael did not die of complications of the heart. I guess so, after the drug overdose reached his heart. See, all of this started some time ago. Michael's been carrying the estate all his life. He's been taking care of his family all his life. Janet thought it would be a good idea to do a reunion tour, but Janet was coerced with Joe Jackson. Remember, Joe Jackson still tells these people what to do even at age 50. So Michael didn't comply. He gave a verbal agreement that he would do a tour in the States. Meanwhile, he signed another deal in London. If you Google back, it'll tell you that the Jackson was currently being sued. But they worked out a deal that they do all the dates starting off in London. Michael did not get along with all his brothers, contrary to what they want you to believe. Michael did have a well rapport with Jermaine and Janet, but that was growing thin. Michael spent most of his time as a loner because he just got tired of carrying the weight of his shoulders of the family. This is what it's all about. Michael was the blood sacrifice for the Jacksons. See, Michael did not want to do all these dates. He was not into carrying the estate for the entire family. He did love his mother, but his family, his siblings, was getting on his nerve. So that infuriated the family. Hey, do not be fooled by all those crocodile tears and all that dressed in black. Let me tell you something. Everyone in Hollywood knows about the Baphomet and the sacrificing of death to be wealthy, of fame. They're just putting you on. But let's take a brief moment and talk about her husband, Jermaine Dupri. Everybody knows him, right? Did you know that Jermaine Dupri was a molester? You remember the group called Criss Cross? He molested both of those boys and paid them off. Yeah. Who are they? Well, let's get that slide. This is Criss Cross. Now, back in the 90s, they were hot with the cut called Jump Jump. Now, the guy to the right, he's still around. Dude to the left, he's in hiding. This messed these guys up for the rest of their life, man. Now, check out this dude. He was a part of the Criss Cross. His hair is falling out now. I'm not saying it's from him, but I'm just saying they twisted, man. Their whole life is just upside down. But they took the bait. They didn't take the oath, but they took the bait. But they might take the oath because they're trying to get a current deal with Def Jam Records. Not Def Jam, but Columbia through So So Def that Jermaine Dupri owed. If you see all the spots in his head, that's a disease. I forgot exactly what it's called. But man, look how that brother ended up. Now let's get back to the Jacksons. Joe Jackson at that. You know, Michael did not get along with this man at all. He's controlling. He's still telling him what to do at 50. But nevertheless, Michael dies 4 or 5 hours later. This man rents an Atlas truck. What is that? It's a storage van. He takes all of Michael's possessions out. And remember, this is not even his house. He don't even have the jurisdiction to do it. But he did it. He took all his possessions out and put it in a private storage. Why the hell would a daddy do that has nothing to do with his son? Because he knows Michael's name, his possessions is worth money. Joe Jackson is sitting there in deep thought. This man, the guilt that they live with every day, this is why they turn to cocaine, this is why they turn to alcoholic, because they know what they have done to get where they're at. Now, the guy, the doctor of Michael, he just did what he was told. DeLeese told him to give him a lethal injection, and that's what he did. He's even stopped his practice. Meanwhile, Janet with the half-nakedness, with the boobs sticking out, with the thong up the butt. When it comes down to it, the family is totally damn wicked. Alright? He did not want to do anything that they portraying him to be. He wanted to just be left alone. And there's only one person that told the damn truth, and that's LaToya. I guess you say why. LaToya's only telling the truth because she was left out the loop. They wasn't going to give her none of the shares, and they still not going to give her none of the shares that's coming into the Jackson estate. So she's telling all. Even the mother, Catherine, she knows about why her son had to die. He's worth more dead than alive. Look how she's looking. She knows the truth. Meanwhile, Michael Jackson was the blood sacrifice for the Jackson estate. We have a couple more, and it will be kind of quick. Kanye West wanted to be just where Jay-Z's at. So Jay-Z took him under his wing and told him about the blood sacrifice. Kanye agreed. His mom would be sacrificed. And while she was being sacrificed, Kanye took a trip to London so that it could be totally a mishap for him to get the news. Let's talk about Jennifer Hudson. Can't believe it. Some of you don't want to believe it. These people do not love their family. It's all about the fame. It's all about the wealth. Yes, she did. But not only did she kill her mom, she sacrificed her entire family except her other sister, who was in on it as well. If you recall, her sister was on MySpace page a day before the funeral, kicking it. This is truth. So who is due for sacrifice right now? Beyonce. You see, out of all the fame Beyonce's got, none that we know of who she sacrificed. Well, let's take a closer look at what she's holding. That's the Baphomet. And that only tells me one thing. Beyonce is long overdue for a sacrifice. Truth is always